Hello, welcome back to my channel. You'll see me in a second. I'm doing this alone without my husband. Hi! I promised that I would make black and white cookies today. Just got home from my deliveries. My kitchen is still a disaster, but I really wanted to do this. So these are really fun to make, and they're so super easy. Once you make a batch, you'll want to make them all the time. Trust me, really. They're really that delicious. And you can change up the frostings whichever way you want, or the glazes whichever way you want. So I'm just going to go through, and then we'll talk for a minute, and then when they come out, we'll frost them, okay? So let's get started. Oh, let me go grab a knife so I can cut my butter. Hold on for 1 second. I forgot to do that. I'll be right back. I hope you're all well. I'm doing well. I kind of had a minor accident this morning. I tripped and my ankle's not right, but I guess it'll, hopefully heal itself when you're old, So these, I grew up in New York. My mother's Jewish, and my father's Italian. We're Spanish Jews on my mother's side. For all we know, I could be lying to you. I don't know. That's just what's been told to me, and I've always identified with that. Actually, although I didn't grow up practicing the Jewish faith, I've always felt Jewish. I can't explain it. So you want 6 tablespoons of butter, which is approximately 3/4 of a stick, and we're just going to take that. You can cut it up, but this is so soft. I'm just going to plop it into my mixer. And to that, we're going to add a 1/2 cup of sugar. So that goes in there as well. And then we're going to turn on. It's going to be a little bit loud. I don't want to take the this little handy-dandy clip thing that I have going on. But I'll show you what it looks like after it gets mixed. So you want to cream the butter for about, 3 minutes, 4 minutes. Once it starts to get incorporated, you can raise the speed, but don't do it right away. You'll regret it. And then we have some other ingredients. It's very quick. This is a really quick, simple recipe, but I have clients who requested some, so I thought I would make them. Anyway, I hope everybody's doing well. It's Friday. One of my favorite beloved pieces. I have many. This is from Romano Innocenti. It's got a chip in it, but I cannot throw it out because he's passed away. This is Italian pottery, and it's from Tuscany, and it's Jacobean Orientalistic in its nature. And he painted fish and cats. I have a mermaid and an octopus, and they're absolutely phenomenal. He also does the fish are just beautiful and wild, and the cats are really fat and adorable. But the colors are always like this, and I love it. It's so beautiful, and it's signed by him as well. It's one of my treasures from Italy. I used to work for an Italian import company, and so I had access to buying some really amazing pieces. I should have bought more, actually. So now I'm just turning up the speed a little bit. When you cream the butter, you allow the sugar to sort of melt. Sugar is a liquefier. It's not a binder in cooking, so you don't want it to be granular, because then it doesn't create like a homogenized batter. Kind of, it's a little bit gritty. So it's just nice for everything to be incorporated. And I'm just turning up the speed. This machine is 19 to 20 years old, this mixer. It's gone through 2 Vikings and 2 Cuisinarts and 1 larger mixer, but this one is my go-to. So now that we've mixed it, I'm going to scrape it down, and I'll show you what it looks like. That's what it looks like. And I'm just going to scrape it down. You'll see it's nice and fluffy. And I'm going to let it go a couple of more seconds because it should be a little bit lighter in color. You always want pale yellow when you're baking. And this aeration just gives, it'll help with the rise of the cookie too. This cookie is more like a cake. So we'll just let that go one more time. And then we'll add our egg in a second. So this is just 1 egg. My neighbors are so lovely to give me beautiful eggs every morning. I'm so lucky. I don't have chickens yet, but I really want them. I'm out in the country, so we have enough space in our backyard for birds. But I don't know, my husband's like, will you kill them and eat them after? And I'm like, no, I like want to name them and pet them and have them love me. No, I mean, even though I do eat chicken, I don't want to eat that chicken, you know? So, okay, so to this, we're going to add our egg. One egg, that is. And you'll want to turn up the speed again. And let that go for a second. And then here we have 1 1/4 cups of, I use cake flour, but it calls for all purpose, but I like cake flour in this recipe. You can do whatever you like. I love cake flour. I think it just adds something really nice. This is a 1/2 teaspoon of kosher salt that we want to add to our dry ingredients, and a 1/2 teaspoon of baking soda. Make sure we get all that. Less is always more with baking soda, just so you know. Less is always more. So if you're a little under, don't ever freak out or worry about it. And collect your dishes as you go. I find that, you know, just is easier to clean up, even though my house is a mess right now. So, okay, we're going to let this go again. And to this, we're going to add, and in this case, you don't have to worry about adding thirds. This is not like this isn't like that kind of thing, but just to practice, we can do that. We can add a little bit of flour, a little bit of our flour. A little bit more. You want to do thirds. So always end up with flour at the end. Give that a little quick mix. And then this is 1/3 cup of buttermilk. I did not have any fresh buttermilk. My buttermilk went bad. So I just used milk and cider vinegar. I used about a teaspoon of cider vinegar to fill up my 1/3 cup of milk. So there's that. So we're going to pour a little bit of this in. And you'll see it gets nice and congealed. It's really lovely. Pour a little of that. And then we'll take another portion of our flour. Give that another whirl. And we'll scrape it down after this time. Just to make sure everything's getting incorporated. Because you don't want to like look at the bottom as you're scooping out cookie dough and there's a chunk of flour in there. Gross. Give it a little whirl on high, and then we'll scrape this down. Just give it a onesie, you know, get it from the bottom. Make sure you get the bottom, and then always scrape to the side. Don't worry about getting dirty either. I mean, I'm always I'm totally filthy. I'm not wearing my chef coat right now because I just got home and I'm too hot. And then we're gonna add actually, I should have added my buttermilk first, but whatever. So that's it. So, and then we're going to add our vanilla. And this is a 1/2 teaspoon of vanilla. Give that a quick mix. You want to make sure it's incorporated again. Okay, that's good. And then I'm just going to take my dishes, my dishes to the sink. Get rid of that. Oops, and my measuring cup. I'll be right back. I will say this till the day I die. In order to bake proper cookies, you always need parchment. I don't care how, you know, you can use Silpats. But parchment paper is really the best thing to use. I'm going to turn this now a little bit towards me. So I recommend it. I highly recommend it. So we're going to scrape down our mixer, a paddle rather. You can see how old my baby is. I need to get a new paddle. But this one, this is my old reliable. My sweetie. Been with me forever. Okay, so that's it. I'll just put that here for just right now. And then, again, when you're done, always fold your batter just to make sure, you know, that your batter is correct. Okay? So here we are. with our lovely batter. I'm going to show you that up close. See that? And I'm going to sit for 1 second. I'm so incredibly sorry. My ankle, I'm hopefully going to get to go to the doctor, run to my doctor after I'm done, because I'm really feeling pain. I twisted it. You know, like when you really twist it and you can feel it just totally go out? That's what happened. So you can use whatever size scoop you want. My people love big, fat, giant cookies. And when I was a kid, that's what I'm used to, the big, giant cookies. So you're going to grab, this is a, I forget what size this is. I think it's a 3 ounce. This is a 3 ounce scoop. And you're just going to want to level off a scoop. And then, let me turn this again so you can see. You're going to want to make sure you space them out because they're going to spread. So I'm going to do 6 on here, and that should be about right. Maybe I can do 7, but I'll probably just do 6. I think I'll probably just get 6, if that. So we're going to do that. Yeah, I'll get 6. This is perfect for 6. That's how many they ordered anyway, so. Okay. Okay. And I don't weigh, anybody who knows me as a baker, I don't weigh my product. I believe in organic amounts of things. So I don't get hung up on weighing, scaling out things. I do scale out doughs, certain doughs I scale out, but for the most part, everything I do is freely thrown, and I like it that way. So we're gonna have one little skunky cookie, I guess. That's okay. Not everybody wants a big cookie. So there's the last of that, and we're gonna scrape out all this goodness because we need it. There we go. And it's amazing how cake battery this is. It's so lovely. You want to just make sure that you want a smoother top. This one may be a little bit bumpy, but whatever, it's okay. Okay, so we're going to stick this in the oven just the way it is, and let it cook. I would say about 10 minutes. I hope it goes quicker because I know that I don't want to keep you guys so long. Yesterday's video was so incredibly long, so I apologize for that. I just really felt the need to come and express myself that way. So, what is my news today? My news today is that it's very hot. It's extremely hot here. The weather is holding out. It's sunny. We are in the process of waiting for a plumber to come because we have a leak in the front of our house. It's funny when you're a first-time buyer, there are things that you need to know that no one will ever tell you. One of those is when you have your inspection done. Let me see my timer. I'm going to set it for 10 minutes right now. When you get your inspection done for your house, always try to be there, because if you're not, believe me, you're going to be in big shit. I apologize. I needed this. Gotta have zeros on hand in the summer. Anyway, you've got to be sure that you're there, because if you're not, you will completely be taken advantage of. And things that, after you buy the house will just fall apart. Like we just replaced our air conditioner. That's why I'm waiting. I ordered a beautiful, actually I'm doing a theme of red, black, blue, and white in my kitchen. Who would have ever thought? But it really looks nice. I'm really digging on it. I ordered these really cool lamps for underneath my counters that are red, and they're adorable. And then I ordered this beautiful red sort of cabana striped curtain to cover that little space and I'm gonna make another pantry in there, actually just for household cleaners and things. So anyway, so when we moved in here, I was very ill. I didn't know that I was as sick as I was, but I knew I was really sick, and we were paying like $1,500 a month to rent this beautiful, it was a 3,000 square foot house. It was gorgeous. But the rent just kept going up and up and up, and we had to get out. We were not going to pay. They were raising our rent. We were paying $1,550, and they were raising it to like almost $1,800. And we were like, we're done. It's just ridiculous to sink that much money into rent. When you're young and you don't know where you want to live, do it. I'm all for it. You should do it. It's very important to do it. But when you put your roots down and you decide that you're going to stay somewhere, and this house is an investment house, we're not going to stay here. It's too small for us. I mean, as it is, we have no closet space. We're between 2 bedrooms. Actually, all 3 bedrooms are filled with clothing. And there's a very small living room and dining room. But we paid $165 for the house. We have a nice piece of property. We're on a corner. And the backyard's adorable. And we thought about extending the house a little bit, but then we were like, why bother? We're going to build a house now. But then COVID happened, and who's going to rent, and we can't be sure that if we rent to someone, they have the money to pay for this house, and even though we would take care of all of the problems that go wrong in the house, still we'd be stretching our budget, I think, and I think it's not the right time. But just make sure that you're there, because like I said, he said that there was nothing wrong with our house, and then the insurance inspection, make sure you have an insurance inspection too, because they will MF you too. And we were very lucky to get very cheap insurance, but the problem is a lot of those cheaper insurance companies will find any quick fault. And yes, I am wearing Shane Dawson. It's the Shane Dawson. You know what I realized yesterday, and I really wish people would tell me. I'm not upset if you tell me, but I really have to get freaking lip liner. I have to do my lips right. I just, I'm new to all this, so I'm sorry if I'm not as polished as most people, but I try. I work like an animal. I've not slept really. I slept about, I don't know, maybe 2 hours. And then I had to get up and I had to get all get ready all of my deliveries, and bake, and organize and deal with traffic. And this morning my car made a weird rattling noise. I don't friggin' know what the hell that is. I just sunk thousands of dollars into this damn beast when I could have bought, there's a G-Wagon for sale up in Columbia for $19,000. It's got 53,000 miles on it. Whoever gets it, they're so lucky. But my husband's like, what the hell do you need a G-Wagon for? Do you? Because when it breaks down, can you afford to fix it? And I'm like, no, but I like it. I do, but I don't need it. I have Pathfinder, and I've always wanted one, and mine's an old school Pathfinder. It's the boxy one, not the mom van one. And I thought about trading it in for an Armada, one of the newer Armadas, but I don't need that either. I don't need it. I kind of am like, if I found a smart car, I'd probably buy it tomorrow, but I need it for my business. My husband's like, why don't you get a van so you can put your name on the side of the van so people actually know who you are? Because I'm like Cinderella's slipper. In my baking community, I lay low. I'm like the underdog, and I'm happy to be the underdog, because I think a lot of people, they want to compete against me, or they think they're better than me because they have a larger following or a brick and mortar. I don't want a brick and mortar. Believe me, I've been working as a chef since I'm 25. I'm 50. I've been in kitchens my whole entire life. My father's a chef. I come from a family of chefs, and I don't want that. I don't want that responsibility. I'm more inclined to like wanting to sell my recipe. I'm working on a cookbook. I've been working on a cookbook forever. I didn't know which way I wanted to go, but I kind of wanted to be about emotional eating. I think this book, my first book, is going to be about emotional eating, about how, food is a comfort, and all of the things, the flavors of things that I remember as a child, the scents, the sounds of my father cooking on Sunday morning, making gravy, which we call gravy. Actually, we call it sugo, but gravy. And my mom my grandmother coming to make paella. Oh, my grandmother made the best paella. Oh, it was so beautiful. She made seafood paella with chicken, and it was excellent. And I used to love to be in the kitchen when she cooked. She grew up in Puerto Rico. Was from a Spanish family, but they migrated to Puerto Rico. I'm eating. I never said I would eat, but I'm eating. I'm having a bit of cantaloupe while I speak to you. It's so ripe. It's organic. It's so good. When you live in the South, melon it's like the thing to do. Eat melon. And this is my lunch. So, I will tell you, my grandmother could cook like nobody's business. She made the most incredible soups and stews, and she used to make this shrimp in a green garlic sauce that was outrageous. And I can't recreate what she did. My father is Northern Italian, so we cook the food of Bologna in that area. My grandmother was from Modena, where they make the balsamic vinegar. So I grew up eating prosciutto and teleme and burrata and torta di patate, lasagna with bechamel, arrosto, which is pork cooked in milk. We eat steak with lemon, which is delicious. We cook it and then we let it chill, and it's rare. Then we slice it paper thin, and we put olive oil and lemon juice on it and eat it with salad, usually like a tomato salad or panzanella in the summertime. Italian food is so overdone for the most part, and I don't think people really understand how beautifully simple and elegant Italian food is. As I get better with this and I get a better camera, this is my iPhone. I just have to stick with it for right now, folks, because I have bills and I'm not as busy as I usually am in the summertime. The money is not coming in. I mean, it is what it is. I'm happy either way. I don't give a shit. I've had money, I've not had money. It's the way it goes, you know. I have expensive tastes and I have a beer budget. It'll be that way for the rest of my life, I'm sure. I'm okay with it. But I can't extend myself to get the camera that I want. It's a really nice camera, but my husband's like, I'll buy it for you, but I don't want him to buy it for me. This is my thing. And even though, look, I'm not popular, I'm not like one of those people who will race it to, thousands of viewers. And I'm not going to sink ships. I don't want to like talk about people. I want to cook. I don't really give a crap, really. I do and I don't. I do care about Chantal, and I think that, she just needs to get to a place of acceptance within herself, and then she can accept blame for the content that she puts out and then regrets. It is what it is. I mean, it's her decision. It's her channel. I don't even want to talk about it anymore. And I really feel like I want to support positivity, even though maybe I shouldn't. But I do watch her. I am invested in her in that way. And I do care. And I think that, again, I'll say it. I think the bullying needs to stop. You can only drag a person under a bus for so long before they let go. She's asked you time and time again to, leave her alone. To not judge her for that content. She makes bad decisions. We all do. Oh, shit, I've made a bunch. But, so, today I haven't checked my COVID. Oh, let me check COVID. I'm so curious. I check every day. I'm like an old person. I have to know. Our cases go up steadily every day, so I'm always curious to know. And on the Weather Channel, you can find out. But not that any of you really care, but I'll tell you how many are in my area right now. They have a track COVID-19 button. Okay. Oh, and Safari Lottery came up. What the hell is that? I was looking at magnetic eyelashes last night and I was cracking myself up thinking, should I wear those? Could I? No, I'd look like a joke. 308. We're up to 308. And 2 weeks ago we had 15. Okay, the cookies are cooking. They're spreading nicely, which is really nice. And I am going to actually give them a quick turn. Oh, my ankle is so killing me. I don't know if I should ice it. What do you do when you have a sprain? Do you ice it or do you give it heat? I forget. Oh, okay, three of my cookies are kissing. But since this is for a dear client of mine, they don't really care, and I don't either, but they'll look gorgeous when they're done. Well, there are 308 cases in my area. On Hilton Head, there are 2,280. I live about 40 minutes, not even 35, 40 minutes away, maybe a half an hour away. And Savannah, we'll just check Savannah for shits and giggles. And no, I'm not trolling. I really don't want to be trolling, but almost 3,000 cases. Yeah, that's what it was the other day. Yesterday it was at I think it's gone up maybe 20. So there's a concern for that growing, and being that it's the height of tourist season, I can't even imagine what the hell is going to happen. No one's wearing masks. No one. I mean, people at the beach, people in restaurants. I mean, okay, you wear a mask to go into a restaurant, but then you take it off. Well, what if you sneeze or something, or if you are sick? And they say it goes through the air conditioned vents on top of it all. So what the hell is that all about? I don't know. An interesting story. A man that I bumped into today, I went to Food Lion on my way home to grab some things because I'm making for dinner. I'm making zucchini rollatini. So you take zucchini and you slice it kind of thin but lengthwise. Then you salt it on paper towels, let it drain out really well so it gets very pliable and kind of a little dried out. And then you take fresh ricotta, a little bit of fresh mozzarella, 1 egg, some fresh basil from my garden, 1 egg, some fresh parsley from my garden as well. Basil, parsley, salt, pepper, the ricotta, a little Reggiano Parmigiano. I'm going to put a little truffle oil in there too because I think that'll be beautiful. A little bit of truffle oil, and then you stuff the zucchini. You lay it out crisscross, so you make little parcels of it. And then once you do that, you fold it over. You put a little bit of tomato sauce, which I have. I just made a beautiful tomato sauce. Marcella Hazan. I hope I said that right. Marcella Hazan's recipe. I'm sorry, I don't care who you are, what chef you are. You know what I'm talking about when I talk about Marcella. Well, Marcella Hazan. I'm Italian. What the hell? Her recipe, hands down, is the best. I use 2 cans of Parmesan tomato. I use about a tablespoon of good olive oil. My favorite olive oil is by a company called All of the Above. The Picul is one of the ones that I love. I don't know. The company is called Veronica Imports, but it's really good, high-grade Italian olive oil. And they have flavored oils and vinegars as well. I think they're in a lot of cities, but they're under different names. Mine is under All of the Above here. Anyway, I use about a tablespoon and a half. Be generous with the olive oil. Not too generous, though. I use some fresh chili flakes. And at the last minute, I throw in like 2 cloves of garlic. I throw in my tomatoes. And then I tie a huge bunch of basil with a little bit of string and plop that in. I let that cook down. I don't even add salt or pepper or anything, nothing. That's it in there. I let that cook down in my Martha Stewart pot or my Le Creuset Dutch oven. Sometimes I cook it in the oven. If I'm going out and I don't want to have it on the stove, I just put it in the oven at 300, 350. It stays, it cooks beautifully in the oven. Oven roasted sauce is the best. It gets sweeter somehow. I don't add any sugar to my sauce. I don't add any honey. I don't do any of that stuff. I don't add oregano. We don't do that. We don't do that. At least my people don't do that. I don't know about others. In the South, they love their oregano. Let them have it. You know, it grows wild. In the North, no. We put it on beets and sometimes tomato salad. That's it. Yeah, that's all I can think of at the moment. Anyway, so when it's done, it'll reduce almost by half. When it does, grab a stick of high quality butter. If you can get French butter, if you can't, don't worry about it. Plugra works, Kerrygold, Finlandia, Anchor, which is my favorite from New Zealand when I lived in Russia. That was or Midnight Sun, which is Finlandia. Or Valio. Valio is another one. That's from Finland as well. But grab yourself a whole stick of butter, salted. I use salted when I bake. You know, some people say no. I do. I can't help it. I like it. So you then take that, throw that whole stick in the pot of sauce. Let it melt. After it melts, come in and ladle out all the fat. You want the milk solids in the butter, not the fat. And the milk solids are going to neutralize the acid in the sauce. So it's going to give you this unctuous, Oh my God, it's so perfumey. And then take out your basil bunch, because you won't need that anymore either. Take out your basil bunch and cast that aside. You can add fresh basil if you want more basil. And to that sauce, you can do so many things. You can turn that into an amatriciana by sauteing some pancetta and red onion, a little more chili flake, a little white wine, and add your tomato sauce. You can make a cardinale, which it has a little bit of cream. I make a delicious sauce with crab. I like to use king crab. So I make a very reduced king crab stock from the shells with a little bit of finocchio, which is fennel. Just watching my cookies. Okay, the cookies are done. So a little bit of finocchio that I cut up, and a little bit of garlic and shallot and white wine. Or you can use a little bit of Pernod if you want to, but I like white wine. So this is these are what the cookies look like when they come out. Okay? So they're done. Don't touch them. Don't touch them. Everybody wants to touch a cookie when it comes out. Leave it alone. Got to leave it alone for a few minutes. So we're going to shut off our timer and our stove. So that's off. Excuse me. And I'm covered in flour and crab. So I make a stock and I drain it and I reduce it. I let it simmer down till it's almost like thick. And make sure that you really get all the flavors out of the shells and any drop of moisture get. And then to that, I add that to my tomato sauce and let that cook down. When it's done, I like to add the rind of an orange. No one will tell you this, but the rind of an orange is so incredible in there. And then a little bit of heavy cream. I'm Italian. I can't help it. And I'm a chef. We love our cream. I'm but heavy cream, and get good quality heavy cream. You want about a quarter of a cup. If it's a two can tomato, I have an itch on my back. If it's a 2-can pot of sauce, I would add about a quarter cup, maybe a third a cup of heavy cream. You just want to tint it pink, and a little saffron in hot water mixed for the last 15-20 minutes of the sauce. And then you're going to pull out your orange rind and pull it off the heat and add your king crab. You can add a little bit of fresh basil, a little bit of fresh parsley, and it's delicious I love it over gemelli, or I love it pappardelle, bucatini. I like it under like some sort of pasta, like spaghetti, instead of like a cut pasta. If I did maybe paccheri, I would do. And if you really want to take it up another notch, you can always add a little bit of fresh truffle. It's nice too. But there's a bang of flavor in there. And the tomato and the orange is so lovely together. Tomato and orange works together in Mexican food really well too. When I make carnitas, I make my carnitas with fresh tomato, red onion, and lots of oranges. I'll cut them up, Valencia oranges, squeeze them, and just throw them in there with a little olive oil and some cilantro and garlic, lots of garlic, a little bit of cumin, and then let it cook in the oven until it falls off the bone. I usually do country ribs. My husband got me the cutest little ring. I don't know if you can see it. Oops, see. It says Tange and Boo. I don't know if you can see it. It's kind of hard to see, but it says Tange and Boo. My nickname is Tange for tangerine, and I call my husband Boo because of an old Casper the Ghost cartoon. Long time ago. We've been married almost 19 years. I can't believe it, 19 years. It's gone by so quickly. Anyway, we're letting these cookies cool. We're going to just let them cool a little bit. I'm going to ice one so that you can see what it looks like, and then I'll let you go. This is already 33 minutes. Oh my God, I'm so sorry, you guys. I can't edit. I'm just going to say it. I can't edit. I don't know what I'm doing. I'm not ready for that yet. Let me go grab some gloves because I've touched my face. I'm going to take my ring off. Hold on, I'll be right back. I'm a great believer in wearing gloves. And I usually wear a hairnet when I bake every morning. I wear a double hairnet actually. And I wear whites when I bake, even though I'm baking from home. I want my house to be clean. And I have my cleaning person coming in a little bit. She will help me for a little while. I cannot wait because it's a lot to do in this kitchen today. I was extremely busy this morning. So this is the cookie. And it's still warm. And you see, it's like cake. It's like a little cake. So I already went and made, I'm going to show you, this is the chocolate. Let me just, it's really thick. Let me just give it a little. So this is the same sauce, but you add chocolate to one of them so that you get the black side and then the white side. It's made from 2 cups of, and this is like a thick glaze. 2 cups of powdered sugar. I use organic powdered sugar. I used the juice of an organic lemon. Actually, a juice and a half of an organic lemon, which is, you want 2.5 teaspoons of fresh lemon juice added to the sugar, and then a tablespoon and a teaspoon of corn syrup. I bought some Janky organic corn syrup. It's corn syrup. I mean, if it's organic or not, who gives a crap? But it was on sale. Somebody didn't want it. So this is the white side, and this has the lemon juice. And I've used vanilla bean. I don't know if you can see the vanilla bean, but I use vanilla bean paste. I like it. Has a stronger vanilla flavor. And it's easier to use than crushing the vanilla bean. I mean, even though I make my own vanilla once a year, I buy bulk vanilla beans, and I use vodka. I use a really, really strong vodka. It's actually higher proof than normal. I think it's 100 proof instead of 80 proof. That's what it is. I use 100 proof vodka. And then you just smash the beans a little bit. You open a few beans. You can crack open a few beans. Actually, split them all. But I like to take some of the bean out and then let it sit. You know, it's like it perfumes it. And then you got to let it just like sit and marinate for a long time. I put it in a mason jar. I give it to people as a gift too. If you're on my good list, not my shit list. It's really nice. Anyway, so okay, this is ready to go. And I'll just put this spoon there. And we will do, let's do the vanilla side first, okay? So I'm going to use my hand.